Good morning. I did not suspect to make an apology video this quickly, but I've been informed that my last video wasn't really that good and felt kind of sloppish. And I went over my footage, I've looked back at the video, and I will have to agree that video looks like it's rushed. It doesn't look very good quality, and I think I should make it up to you with an apology first. That I'm super sorry that I didn't really make such a good video. Cause like I will let I'm not blaming this on other things, but I was so sleep deprived and I was kind of under pressure. The fact that my 100th video would have been the T-34-85 movie being horrible, but I feel like I rushed like past it so fast that I didn't really notice like all the flaws about the video. And in this video, I want to make it up to you guys by actually going in depth with the T-34 movie and explaining how literally unhumane of a movie this is in pure utter slop. So let's start off with the first clips here. I'm sorry that my last video felt sloppish. I'm going to work on from now less sloppy videos. Alright, first we need to get up the story of the T-34 movie. It starts off in this winter forest kind of place, and the main character here has this crew of a T-34 1940 series, I think, near 40s, early 40s, and so fights in this battle. He eventually surrenders with most of his crew. They get captured by Germans into this facility. That's what I'm gonna call it. And the Germans held them as like prisoners for like 1 2 years, 1 2 3, maybe 1 to 2 1 to 3 years. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. And then as they're being held, they get offered to be this like T-34-85 crew as target practice, and they manage to escape the office, but there's this subplot to it where it's this woman that gave them a key that they would have to mold through like cast and then flee the facility. So the woman would flee the facility, and then she would wait at this bench, and the T-34 would break through the place of the facility where they were going to be practice fire. And after they flee, so they pick up the girl. They kind of just like from there, the plot kind of just like goes down. But what happens is that they go through this town, they get food, and then they drive even more, escape the Germans again, because I think they're on like planes, and then there's like anti-tank cannons or something. I remember it's very vivid. But after that, they like wash off, and then the woman gets to stay in this forest. Well, the T-34 goes out to go check for land and stuff or whatever, and they encounter this massive fleet of panthers. I think it's like six of them, maybe. And while they're fleeing these, like not fleeing, while they're defending themselves against these panthers, they destroy like five of them, and then like the last one, like forfeits. He's like, I'm done. We're gonna do this like the good old fashioned way. And they both end up on this bridge, ready to duel. They both charge at each other. The T-34 eventually wins, and then they get out the tank. They save the incapacitated or like hurt machine gunner. They walk over back to the forest or whatever to go to the woman, and like eventually I'm pretty sure it's like a happily ever after, maybe. I'm pretty sure that's where the credits roll in. But my main point about the movie, that's the whole story. There is so much flaws behind that I will explain here that make no sense to me. So let's get into that here, and then we'll get into the unrealistic parts of this movie. All right, well, I said let's get into the like easy flaws of the plot. In what right world would it be that the Germans capture T-34 crew just to make them serve as like target practice? And it's pretty strange to me. I don't find that very amusing in the aspect that this should be really realistic. It feels kind of sloppish. Like it literally sounds like Russian propaganda, me saying this. But my next strange question about this is how come Germans don't have like any padlocks on their doors or anything like that? Like they don't have any simple lock systems on their doors so regular people don't get in them to get the key molds to make some like key to escape a facility of the Germans. Like it makes no sense to me whatsoever. And my next flaw is when they escape the German facility. Yes, that's what I will call it. I don't even think I don't even think it's actually called that. After they escape this German facility, where are we going? What plan do they have to go anywhere? It makes absolutely no sense whatsoever to me. So they destroy off these panthers or whatever, and then it goes to this end credits where they're like, they have this guy up in like this like pick up a bull thingy to like carry him, and like credits rolling. So you're telling me they could have walked all the way back to Russia in like probably the middle of Germany? No, they would have probably been captured again, and then T-34/85 happens again or something stupid. That would probably be an actual sequel, I'm not kidding. But yeah, my point is that what do they do after they like be free or whatever? What do they do after they escape these Germans? Makes no sense to me. After that, I'd like to say another big plot gap is where did this woman come from? The the point of her is that she was a translator, but like why are we freeing this woman and not every single other Russian that's stuck in there? Like I'm happy that they didn't save the Russians because the Russians were super corrupt to begin with. I think they're almost as glazed as World War II Germany, probably if not more. But back to that point, they could have freed everybody, but they just freed this one woman. It makes no sense. It's just some stupid petty love plot that I'm probably bubbling up about. Now, let's move on to the unrealistic parts, which this is going to be the major part of this video if you already didn't think it was long enough. Alright, let's get into that. Let me stop you right here with unrealistic part thingy, number one here. So, after the Germans captured them and they got this T-34/85, like, dude, after they get the T-34/85, they get this ammo and then now they're burying it. But what also confuses me is how did they get this ammo if they're not allowed to shoot at the Panthers? Where did the loader hide the ammo so that not even the Germans could find it? Like I know that Germans are blind, but I don't know about Russians either. I don't think they're very smart. Now, this is actually a point that I saw nobody point out in this. If you look at the Panthers that are inside the targeting practice part here, those are Panther Ds. The Panther D is an early variant of the Panther, if not the first, except for the VK, which is a prototype actually. So this is the first production of the Panther. But if you skip later ahead in the video, you'll see they go against Panther A/Panther Gs, which are way later production Panthers that are upgraded, and the Panther G shares a different mallet than the Panther A and D. And I find that pretty unrealistic that we're just showing the Panther D just rolling out now, and it skips to the Panther G and A later. It makes absolutely no sense to me whatsoever. Let me show you in these clips right here. You'll see them very shortly. Alright, well, as I said in this clip, where the Panthers are getting ready to fight, you're looking at a Panther D. This is the Panther with, like I said, just kind of a more like looking design. It just looks more smooth, and I'm gonna bring it over here to when we're looking at the Panthers that we went against later after we fleed. All right. So we go into the scene of them turning the turret at each other, but if you look at the Panther, it has a M, a M. The Panther has a flat mantlet, which was a later version of the Panther to prevent ricocheting going into the hull and killing, because it's very weak roof armor on the hull. So we'll see in this clip here. Just wait. These are really accurate turret traverse speeds, I'm gonna be honest. There we go. It goes in the CGI firing shot that looks horrible. Kaboom! Oh my god! But in all seriousness, look at the side of the mantlet. Look at the side. See how flat it is to prevent ricocheting going into the hull? But the top is like angled. And that's what I was trying to say. A Panther D and a Panther G have a very, very wide gap in when they were made. It's not because like this guy had the more elite Panther. No, they just produced them different later on. So, in conclusion, that is pretty hypocritical that we go to the testing of the Panther and it's the Panther D, and it just only being a few days later, and there's already the Panther G out on the battlefield over here. Let me show you a photo of the Panther D. Ready? See the mantlet? Now, let me show you a photo of the Panther G and its mantlet. You can see these are two clearly different, and the gap that the Panther D and G were made is pretty wide, if not year, or even maybe like 10, 5 months. So let's go to our next inconsistency of realism. Alright, well, my next unrealistic criticism is their laziness. I'd like to point out that this Panzer III model isn't perfect, but it still looks presentable. It could be actually mixed up for Panzer III. But if we move off to the right a little bit, we got this abomination, this thing. Like, what is this? Excuse me? All right, let me show you. This right here is the regular Panzer, not actually real, but a mock-up. And then this is its little like brother off to the side over here. You can see that they kind of got lazy. They put all their hope into one model, and then praying that the rest would look better. It didn't work. Now that's just a small inconsistency, I guess, but like get your stuff right, man. Oh, okay. So we go to now. I would like to point this out. Why is the turret traverses so slow? I showed you in that Panther clip that if you observe it, the turret traverses are incredibly slow, but I thought that I should make a separate one with this Panzer III at the very start of the movie. Alright, we'll go up to this little Russian truck thingy, and you'll see the Panzer III. How abominably slow is that turret? That turret is incredibly slow for a Panzer III being so light. Panzer III could had just enough to survive 20 millimeters of like a 20 millimeter anti-tank rifle. Now, after I call that unrealistic, I'd like to show you the actual turret traverse measures of the Panzer III. I don't know if these are fully historically accurate, but this is just a rough assumption. Now, so if we go in degrees per second, the Panzer III with the little baby gun on it, the little gun that's in this clip, has a traverse speed up to 4.5 to 6 degrees per second. And as you can see in this clip, this is abominably slow. This is incredibly slow. It should not be a thing. And if you were actually trying to lock in or whatever on a target, there's that. Like, what are we doing? And I just noticed this while saying this. Why in the world is the Panzer shooting his main cannon at a truck? It has a mantlet machine gun. What are we doing? Well, I think that point is already proven, but there you go. Alright, well, we might have to go to the mighty next inconsistency. This one you're gonna love. When they finally get T-34-85, like, done and ready off to its little battle here, why? Why does it go so fast? And I'd like to point out this right here. What is this? So you're telling me that it's skirting around all over this concrete, yet it's not making any sparks. You can clearly see that the T-34-85 does not go anywhere near these speeds. And if it probably even went up into its fourth gear, if the fucking stupid shifter would work, it would probably just break. I don't even think it had four gears to begin with. Like, the T-34 was put in such horrible production quality, in such overcomplicated, stupid simpleness, to the point where, like, it has nothing good on it. And you can clearly see that this clip 100% is CGI, and you're not proving me wrong, either you changing my opinion. I'm sorry. I really hope that's enough to make it up. This is literally a 16-minute long video so far on me trying to make it up to you guys over my inconsistencies on giving good points. So, there you go. Take it. Um, if you need me to make a part two on the T-34 movie and its unrealisticness, I would gladly do that anytime. Um, I'm not gonna ask you to like and subscribe because I made a mistake. And have a good day or good night, good evening. I don't really know. Um, goodbye.